Good morning. Welcome to Brain Learning Psychological Corporation. My name is Dr. Renzi Hadesing. I am the owner of basically a diagnostic center. And what we do here is we work with adults on the CalWorks program and help provide basically knowledge to people so they can make the best career choices that they can so they can be happy again. And today I would like to talk to you about a field in psychology called neuropsychology. So neuro meaning the brain and psychology meaning behavior. So it's a combination and a study of our brain and its relationship with our behavior. Okay. So the brain is everything, right? We all have one. You have one. I have one. And no one brain is like any other brain, right? At all. That's pretty cool. In understanding the brain, what we do as neuropsychologists is we watch behavior, right? We're watching people do activities, which then tells us information about somebody's brain. So I never went to medical school. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a psychologist, basically. I don't like blood. I don't want to see your brain. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to be like in front of it. I just want to watch you do activities and do things, and then I want to make hypotheses about what that means and why that thing is happening, that behavior. So I'd like to share with you why neuropsychology and neuroscience are so valuable when it comes to learning about what career and what job would fit you, would make you happy. So what I'd like to do is just talk about real briefly how understanding a little bit about your neuropsychology, your brain, and your behavior can help find you the best job. All right. So number one, neuropsychology and a assessment that we would be doing with you would help you understand your cognitive, so your thinking, strengths and weaknesses, right? We all have them. I happen to be very dominant in my right brain and very weak in my left brain. And that has implications for the work that I do and the activities that I do every day and my happiness. Understanding that has allowed me to get around my weaknesses and really focus on my strengths. And today is a great day. I'm understanding of all of that information. I didn't know it in my 20s, so I had to learn it. Learning things like memory, executive functions, visual skills, spatial skills, language skills, and problem solving skills. These are really important kinds of processes that our brain performs and allows us to accomplish things. Okay. Some of us have brains that are creative and enjoy building things and creating things and manipulating things to create something. Um, that is so valuable to know. I wish everybody knew that about themselves. Wouldn't it be great if you could go into adulthood and get a profile of your strengths and weaknesses, neuropsychologically speaking, cognitively speaking, so you could understand, you know what, I'm going to stay away from that job because that's not going to work for me. It's going to be really hard for me to be happy because it doesn't play into the strengths that I have going on up here, right? So this is important, is understanding what your strengths are. Additionally, an assessment will also identify your personality strengths, right? And your cognitive styles and the way that you feel about certain people and certain environments and certain activities. I think in this world, there are a lot of people that do jobs that they're good at, but they do not like them. And the opposite too. They love their career, they love their job, but they're not good at it. So they're constantly falling short of somebody's expectations or their own expectation. So what if we can match a job, a career pathway with your cognitive profile? That's an amazing thing. That's an incredible thing. I spent, 30 years of my life helping children get through the public school system. What I never realized is that there's a group of people called adults that are also having difficulties navigating the world that they live in. And wouldn't it be good if we could all understand what's going on up here and use that information to make informed decisions, right? My mother's a nurse. She had a wonderful career, many years. I grew up in hospitals and around her, thought that's what I was going to do. Turns out I don't like blood at all. I faint on the ground. That's just not going to work for me. And I didn't know that. I went down that road, dropped out of college the first time. That didn't work for me. So today at Brain Learning, we get to help people understand who they are so that they can make good choices. Here's another third thing here. In a diagnostic evaluation, you can identify learning disabilities, but you could also understand stress and coping mechanisms. Each of us in this world have a different response to stress. I may be able to handle and cope with stress at this level, and somebody else may be able to handle it higher, and somebody else may be able to handle it lower. Wouldn't that be important if somebody sat in front of you and said, listen, all this information, your history, your self-report, all this data we've got on you tells me that being in a stressful environment every day where things are coming at you, unpredictably speaking, not going to make you happy. Or vice versa, you really enjoy this. Your reaction time is very quick. Your verbal skills are very quick. You can solve problems very quickly. And you report that you enjoy doing this kind of stuff. That's the environment you might thrive in, right? So looking at a good career fit involves a lot of information, and they just don't do that for us in public school. I know that. They do not. They're not capable of helping us understand that. They can teach us a lot, but there's not a course that says, this is a class where we are going to teach you about your brain, your personality, your coping skills, your executive skills. It just doesn't exist. So this is really important. The fourth item is to evaluate executive skills. This frontal lobe of our brain takes up about 40% of the entire brain. It's 40%, it's almost half. It's responsible for a lot of problem solving and a lot of regulation and a lot of management every day. Some of us have amazing skills in this area, and some of us lack these skills. Problem solving, novelty, things that come at us differently every day, it's not going to make us happy. Doing things we can master and feel good at and finish completely every day may be something that some of us like. Okay. So that measuring executive skills is a really valuable tool. It's a really valuable exercise for helping us understand what kind of job would make us happy and we would be good at. And if we're happy and we're good at it, we're probably going to make money. And we all know that money is important, right? We have to be able to pay our bills. What's more important than money, though, is happiness. And not always can money buy that. So we want people to be in places and doing things that also feed their happiness bucket. Lastly, here is exploring interests. What are you interested in? What motivates you? What's your purpose? What today, if you asked yourself right now, what is my purpose in my life? That's an important question to ask yourself. I want to know that. When you come into my office, I'm going to ask you that. Maybe uncomfortable, but I want to get a moment with you and reflect on what is your purpose? What are you supposed to be doing with your life? Okay, then what are things today that you could be doing to help you achieve that goal that is your purpose? So we want motivations, we want interest. There are a lot of kids in high schools that just aren't motivated to doing this type of stuff. Today, there's a lot of other ways to find motivation. There's a lot of other things to think about. There's a lot of other things to learn about. And sitting in a classroom every day may not be motivating for every student. You may be in a job that's just not motivating to you. You could excel, you could follow the rules, you could make the money for the boss, but you're just not interested in doing that. So what motivates you is equally important. Motivation comes from our prefrontal cortex. So there is a spot in our brain that is responsible through neurotransmitters and neurochemicals, particularly dopamine, that helps motivate us and make us happy and interested in doing tasks. So this is really important, right? We can spend a lot of time trying to figure out what would make us happy, but man, it's my belief that we should understand a little bit about what's going on upstairs, right? And if you have to go upstairs, bring somebody with you and let them help you explore, make decisions, and understand how you can best benefit yourself and your family. So, thank you for joining me today. Again, I'm Dr. Renzi, Brain Learning Psychological Organization here. My number is 619-655-1910. Do not hesitate to call if you have questions. Thank you.